Well, welcome back. So excited to dive into this next segment together. Let me ask you a question. Do you know the difference between a forgettable meeting and a transformational one? Now, for some of you, you probably just heard the word meeting. And for some of you, you started doing like convulsions. And others of you, you enjoy meetings. And so here's the reality. If you're going to build great trust with your clients, you're going to have to meet with them. You can't meet with all of them, but I love the phrase by Andy Stanley, "Do for one what you wish you could do for everyone." Do for one what you wish you could do for everyone. That's powerful. It's just powerful. And so the reality is we've talked about how you got to have a plan, and so much of having great transformational meetings is to not be forgettable. To not be forgettable. Okay, let me tell you a story. So Frank and Ann, both financial advisors, different years of experience, but they both have lots of experience. Same firm, same tools, same CRM, but such different outcomes. Okay. Frank, he checks the CRM 5 minutes before the meeting. He books the same doll conference room, fluorescent lights, stiff chairs, awkward vibes, the old plant that's dying in the back corner. He rushes in late, forgets the client's name preference. He does one of those, hey, you, doesn't remember the name, kicks things off with a warm, let's go over your portfolio. This client walks away with a printout and a vague feeling of disconnection. Okay, sound familiar? Yeah, probably it does for some of us. We've all been there. Then Anne, on the other hand, she's unforgettable. 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 Before her meeting, she visits her client's story. She looks at the goals. She notes their goals. She prepares 2 or 3 thoughtful questions because she's trying to figure out which layer she's at. She chooses a location with warmth and energy, whether it's a cozy office, a favorite coffee shop, client's home, wherever that's at. She sends a handwritten reminder a week before. She follows up with a friendly text the day before. Uh, when she's able, she has their favorite drink waiting. When the client walks in and says, I've been thinking about our last conversation. I wanted to ask you this. Boom, right from the outset, she disrupts the client's thinking. That's the standard. And this chapter, we dive into that sort of standard. We look at that opportunity to be able to change our client meetings. Because the reality is, you got to ask yourself, are you more like Frank? You're more like Anne. And honestly, each of us can be like Anne. Some of you are thinking, well, I'm a lot like Frank because no, that may be the truth, but you can be like Anne. If you're following along in the playbook in chapter 6, there's actually a self evaluation right now. And it takes 2 minutes. You're going to answer questions like, I showed up early, mentally prepared, emotionally present. Is there a check mark? I had a clear intention and emotional aim for the meeting. Check mark. I brought thoughtful story unlocking questions. Check mark. I customized the environment to make the client feel comfortable and seen. Check mark. I followed up after the meeting with a personal touch. Check mark. Like, these are the things that set you apart. These are the things. And the reality is that clients know, feel, see when you're winging it. And then we just talk about not winging it anymore. We can't wing it anymore. They can also feel the purpose when there's a planned purpose. But here's the truth. It doesn't take an hour-long presentation. Doesn't take weeks of preparation for your average client meeting to have a spark to it. And think about a spark. Think how powerful it is. It's tiny, you blink and you miss it. But in the right conditions, that spark can ignite a campfire, can ignite a movement, can keep a relationship going for a lifetime. That's the kind of spark that we're talking about. And that's what your client meetings have the power to do. They really do. Now, some of you are rolling your eyes. Stop rolling your eyes. This is how powerful it is. And I'm trying to, throughout this playbook and this course, and this playlist is to help you see that there are so many tools available to you that you may not even be using. And so you can light the flame of trust, connection, clarity, but you got to strike with intention. And that's why we've developed the Spark meeting map. Okay. Spark meeting map. Yes, I like acronyms because they're frameworks. They're easy for the mind to digest. And so this is our first framework, Spark. Uh, Before every meeting, make it more intentional, memorable, impactful. Start with the S, set the stage. Open with warmth. Ask about their life, not their balance sheet. P, present the purpose. Let them know exactly what today is about, why it matters. A, ask and aligned. Ask what's top of your mind right now. And then adapt, align accordingly. The R, reveal and recommend. Share key insights. Keep it clear, relevant, client centered. And then K, keep the connection. End strong. Confirm the next stages. Reinforce that you see them and you're thinking about them and what's next in their story. We say a lot of times around Speak with People, you can automate reminders, not relationships. Meetings are where trust is built if you're intentional. So let's dive into the Spark with just a little bit more detail. So the S, set the stage. You got to ask yourself, how can I open with warmth and curiosity? What's something personal I can ask about to reconnect? You see what Anne did in that story? She started with the fact that she remembered something from the last story. See, that's true power. That's true client focus and attention. And so, what's something you can start personal? Maybe the last time they told you that they absolutely loved Mel Robbins, and you listened to a Mel Robbins podcast and you shared that with them. Okay, let's keep going. P, present. What's the emotional and practical goal for this meeting? Why does this meeting matter right now for them? Why does it meeting right now? A, the ask and align. What question will uncover what's really on their mind? Am I ready to adapt if they take a different direction? You may have a different plan, but you've got to be able to react and then adapt. R, the reveal and recommend. What's one thing I want them to understand or take away? How can I say it with clarity, not complexity? And then the K, keep the connection. How will I follow up with care and intention? With a reminder note, a gesture, how do I make them seen? A bonus for you is to write down one word you want your client to feel when the meeting ends. I mean, just just one word, and uh, end with that. See if it gets to that place, and they're able to do that because that's the power of it. That's the power. And so you want your meetings to have that kind of spark. And when they have that kind of spark, I mean, look out. I mean, that's the important things that will happen. And we just all have to be ready. We all have to be ready. And so if you're following along in your playbook, there are bonus prompts, there are different ideas for you. But the reality is that when you take time to actually reflect, you tap into this new leadership power than you never even knew you had. And so, yes, you've got to prepare. You got to prepare like financial professionals because you know that every meeting is a trust building meeting. So, four things every meeting must do. One, they got to build trust. Your meetings just have to build trust. Your client should leave with a feeling of being known more, being more connected. That's the powerful thing. They also got to surface the emotion. Like people take action based on what they feel, not just what they hear. So you got to get underneath the surface and get the emotion going. Three, you got to simplify the complexity. So many of us, we lose our clients because we're all about the jargon. We're all about this. We're all about, we're trying to teach them the wealth side, which they need to know, but we just haven't done it in a way they understand. And then fourth, you've got to invite action. Don't just review, decide, move forward together. That kind of meeting doesn't happen by accident. It takes intentionality before you ever shake a hand. So that's why we've created the client prep card. And we've talked about this. We've already talked about this, but now we're going to go into it in fuller detail and really dive into this even more because it is powerful. Like it has the opportunity to get you really prepared and really ready. And that's what you want. And so you can print this out from the playbook. If you're in the Client Communication Masterclass series module, you can print it out from the dashboard. If you're in the YouTube playlist, I'll put the link in the comments so you can print it out. But every single meeting, try this, even just the first, 5. Write out their name, check, circle if it's a new or existing. And then you've got to guesstimate if what layer you're on. What layer? Think back through the conversations. And then write down the meeting time, the location format, because each of those are really important to remember. What kind of meeting is this? Is this a discovery meeting? Is this a review? Is this planning? Is this other? What's the meeting goal? Like for you going into it, what's the outcome you'd like to leave with? What's the desired client emotion or tone? Clarity, reassurance, motivation, excitement, confidence. Now let's look at 3 story unlocking questions, and let's write those down. 4, what are some visuals that you're going to have? You'd be able to hand them. What are you going to print out ahead of time? 5, what's the next step you want to guide them towards? And then here's some post-meeting reflection. Post-meeting reflection. What did I learn about their story? What emotion did I pick up? What do I need to address to access the next layer? And then here's my follow-up plan. And then the next meeting date. And you're going to write down to already have that on the date so you are ready. And this is the powerful thing that happens when you have a plan and you want to go in and create a spark. Listen, I grew up in the city of Detroit. We didn't do campfires a lot. Then in my early 20s, I started dating a girl, and I ended up getting real involved with her family. They lived out in the middle of nowhere, and they did campfires all the time. And I would watch my father-in-law to be start the campfire, and it always started with just a little tiny spark. And these meetings could grow something so transformational for you. So transformational for you. And I love what Jeb Blunt says, the brilliant salesgravy.com guy. The more you sweat in preparation, the less you bleed in execution. So here's my final thought for you. Your meetings aren't just calendar invites. They are trust-building opportunities disguised in conversations. So when you show up with intention, your clients feel it. When they feel it, they remember it. When they remember it, they talk about it, and they refer because of it. So don't just run meetings. Create moments. Build connections, earn trust, and for Pete's sakes, make every moment unforgettable. Unforgettable. Like always, at the end of each of these, I just want to remind you about Insights. It's growing every single week. We have more and more subscribers. This is the client growth and referral and retention report. You're going to get 2 articles every single month coming right to your email of choice that are going to have the research, the practical steps. Again, this is not our free client communication guide email. This is the next level. This is our MBA level. And so $19 a month, you can't beat that. It's just an awesome opportunity. Like I've said a million times before, I am here to help you succeed, and I'm here to help you win. Email me, jason@speakwithpeople.com. Would you email me right now? jason@speakwithpeople.com. Let me know, 1 to 5, 1 being low, 5 being high, what level you've been putting into your meetings. What level you've been putting in your meetings. And you should have connected with me on LinkedIn by now. You should have my cell phone. Cannot wait to talk. Can't wait to connect more. I believe in you. I believe you're going to see amazing growth in the next 3, 6, 9, 12, 5 years of your business. And you're going to get it to a place that you always dream. So let's do it together. Let's go from being average client communicators to exceptional. And let's help our clients succeed, because it's just powerful. See you in the next video.